What happens is I'll do a quick demo of the app, and I'll also go through a few hacks and stuff that I think might be interesting to people. And we've got a few questions that people have requested for the recording, as well. So that'd be the agenda. It'd be nice and brief and hopefully really beneficial. And we'll just keep it really targeted to what people want to talk about. So should be good. Just a little bit of housekeeping from me. I mean, I should introduce myself as well. I'm Jock Lawrence, the founder of Mobble. I founded the company about 6 years ago now with a friend of mine. And since then, it's been growing ever since. And we've got about 3,000 farmers and partners on it now, and 2,200 farms across Australia, New Zealand, and the world. And yeah, and I'm originally from a farm up near. This is the farm I'll be demoing as well. Originally from a farm up near Avenel in Victoria, north central Victoria. We run sheep and cattle. It's a self-replacing sheep flock, and cattle flock as well. So that's the property I'll be demoing, and I think that's it. And I'll get straight into it. Have I missed anything, Maddie?
No, that's pretty much it. To celebrate our sixth birthday, we've relaunched the website, which is really exciting.
Yes, yeah, true. No, it's the website looks fantastic. The if you ever jump into the mobble.io website, it's looking really fresh. And yeah, if there's anyone that's new to Mobble and wants to jump on for the first time, we do have a discount on just for our sixth birthday as well. So I'm very proud of how far we've come in that time. Righto, I'll demo my screen. All right, I'm going to demo in mobile screen this time. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear, Maddie?
It looks good. Yeah, it
Looks
looks
good.
great.
All right, awesome. I'll just make it a little bit bigger. Righto, so Mobble is your central place for all your farm and livestock records. So it's all for your livestock and your paddock records and property records as well. It's a place to keep all your information for your whole team. So if it's just a family operation with a few people that need access to it, they can all see what's going on, and see the data live of the farm, so they can do the job the best they can. For big operations, it can be multiple properties, and different managers on each one having different access to Mobble as well. For people that are new to Mobble, it ranges from anywhere under 50 head of cattle all the way up to thousands. So it really suits all different styles and sizes of farms. It can be in cattle, sheep, goats, any sort of livestock, as well as you can also do things like record things on vineyards and all kinds of stuff. So we have seen all these different interesting uses on Mobble over the time. It's been live. So quick little demo. So what we're doing in Mobble, we're recording things basically on three things: your property, your livestock, and your paddocks. Um, and I do know there's a few people that are new to Mobble on this webinar, and will view the recording. So I will just mention a few things how to set up Mobble as well in this. So to set up your paddocks, best place to go is the web application on the computer, and I will just merge it into WebView for a second. Um, and yeah, and so the way you add in your paddocks, you basically just hit this big plus button, press add new paddock, and you go around the strainer posts of a paddock, quite simply like this. Um, and nice and simple. And similar way, adding a new mob, or adding your first mobs to the place, is this big plus button down the bottom. My internet is lagging a little bit. There we go. This big plus button down the bottom, add mob, and you'll get a few options: set up or other, natural increase or purchase. So you can do those natural increase or purchases straight away, and create those records. Or sometimes it's good to have a nice clean snap when you start as well. So just set up or other is the way to go there, and you'd go into here and add your different types of livestock into a paddock. So that's just a brief one on setting up. Now, when you're adding in your livestock for the first time, say it's sheep, adding your breed, gender, ages. It can be multi-ages as well, so you can select multiple ages. And also classes. Now, classes is an interesting one. You can set this up any way you want. So one of the great things with Mobble, it's nice and flexible. So you can add in classes here that sort of suits your operation. So for my parents' farm, we have like our top lines and bottom lines of sheep. So you can see seconds here is our bottom lines. Springdale's another farm up north that they manage. So obviously got some some sheep down from there. So you can just class the sheep any way you want, and we report on those classes as well. So it's kind of a powerful tool as a bit of a hack. Back to sort of general demoing of the map of the app. So it's your full farm mapping system. So you can map out nearly anything, map out your paddocks, map assets, like dams, and hazards and different things like that. Also good to map out things like tasks, as well, or you can create task lists and assign that to people. So yeah, you can see I think my old man likes to put down, patches of horehound or things that he'd like to get sprayed at some stage, but you can use it for anything at all. Now, into the livestock management side of things. So as livestock move across the property, it's easy to pick them up and move them to their new paddocks. And we're recording a bunch of stuff on that grazing management side, things like days grazed and days rested over time, and DSE per hectare or average DSE per hectare as well. And you can get more information on that. So we have reporting. I can go a little bit deeper, but we have reporting on your livestock over time, historic livestock over time, which will pop up here in a second. And you can get your DSEs or SUs, LSUs, stocking units up here as well, and your average over a 12-month period, which is kind of like a paddock performance there as well. Um, Yeah, and on your livestock side, you can keep recording things on, say, compliance. So you've got your mob actions here where you're adding sort of drench records or um, weight records or anything like that. So you've got compliance records and you've got also other records as well. And that's all connected to our inventories, which you can assign a product, and that product will be attached to that mob, and the inventory is live, so it'll reduce as well from that. So, and that's all, yeah, any sort of compliance in New Zealand or Australia, most of the animal health records do comply with that. Obviously recording a bunch of other stuff on mobs like sales and casualties, and we've got reports on all that as well. Um, and yeah, as well as on, recording your livestock records, you're also recording your paddock records. And you can record things in a paddock action. That could be a spray record. It could be a worm egg count for sheep. It could be almost anything in there. Yeah, so, and also you can attach your products from the inventory. So, or say your spray records, your Roundup or whatever product you need to add. You can do that nice and easily there. Other things in Mobble, you can record all your rainfall in there. Task management, there's property chat, so you can talk to everyone on the farm. Inventory management there as well. And summaries on all your reports and information you're tracking over time. So there's heaps more in there, and as you get into it, you'll see it sort of evolve, and that data gets more useful over time as well. There's a few things that I'll want to touch on today. So, like I think some things that get overlooked in Mobble is some of the user experience things on the mobile app. So I'm going to change back into mobile view. And I wanted to start on our sort of filtering, sorting, and activity log. So in Mobble, there's an activity log, and this activity log can be found we call it the event log, sorry. It can be found on nearly any page or the main pages and in the top right corner. And that will show you an event log of every single event that's been happening on the place for forever. So there'd be tens of thousands of events here because my parents have been using this for 6 years now. Well, not tens of thousands, sorry, 8,000 to be exact. There you go. And there's a few different things you can do. So you can search for any thing of the past here. So if you quickly want to see, it's a really quick way to see like I want to see drench records, and you just type that in, and you can just and it'll just filter for all your drench records. You have it very fresh, and it'll make sure it's all up to date, and it's got the recent ones. And you click into a recent drench record and actually go and see that record and what was done to that mob as well. And you can filter for anything, so or sort for anything as well. So that's searching. You can also filter for an action type. There's all these different action event types, sorry. Um, Things like map asset additions or mob additions or product additions, chemical batch additions, whatever it is. And you'll be able to see when that last happened on the property as well. So you give it a refresh and you can see these new map assets that have been added into, into the property. Um, all right, so that's just a little hack that people often overlook. Another one is on the paddocks page. So on the paddocks page here, it's a massive list of paddocks, and most people use the map now, I know, but it is pretty handy to be able to search or sort this list. You can sort it in a whole different way. So you can actually sort it from distance from me. If you're out in the paddock, you can sort it from the distance, which paddocks are closest. You've also got things like days grazed and rested ascending or descending, which doesn't seem to be sorting there on the web, but it does on the mobile. Days grazed rested, days and yeah, highest, the most rested paddocks and the least rested paddocks, and or the most grazed paddocks, and stuff like that. So that's a little thing there, which could be handy. I think one of the more handy things sometimes is the filtering. You can filter. I just want to see the paddocks that have cattle in them. And I can close this filter, and I can see these are the 3 paddocks that have cattle in them at the moment. So it's a quick summary. I can see they're across 149 hectares and stuff like that. So that's just a little interesting hack, I think, that you can use for Mobble. And there's heaps of different ways you can use those filters or search. And it's a smart search too. If you spell it wrong, it's okay. Um, and one recent addition that we've just added is filtering on the map. So this happened, I think it's got released just a few weeks ago. But say if you just want to see, like you got all your mobs here and it's a little overwhelming, but you just want to see where your cattle are. There is a new filtering system in the map, which is pretty cool. You can just go cattle, and you can go down to very granular of what you want to see. Um, and you close this filter, and it'll just show you the mobs of where the mobs of cattle are, which is handy. I can click on this mob, and I can see the cattle in there. It also says his one mob is hidden by filter, so I can unfilter it and see that there's also some Reno ewes in there as well. So that's nice and handy, quick thing. Like it's handy also if you've got calves and lambs in a paddock and you just want to see where all your lambs are, or weaners are, or whatever it is. You can filter that on the map now as well. Just nice, quick, easy access to that info. And there's more of that filtering happening. So in the future as well. So I think a few mobblers here tonight have requested that in our report section that you can filter for cattle and sheep. So this is our livestock reconciliation report, and that will be coming in sort of the next few weeks. I think I definitely know it's been actioned. I just don't know the release date, but on the reports page of the livestock reconciliation report, you'll be able to filter for cattle and sheep, so you don't have just a giant report of them all. In the one. So that it will be, yeah, good. And I think the filtering goes a bit deeper than that too. Other cool things with the filter and the search on mobs, you can obviously do the same. So the same as what we were doing in the paddocks page, you can do on the mobs page, filtering this down. So I just want to see how many first cross ewes we have on the block, and it'll filter it down, and I can see I've got 1,900 head of first cross ewes on the place at the moment. And I've got some young ewes there as well, which some of them probably go for sale soon. Lucky the prices are okay. All right. And that's sort of the filtering stuff I think I wanted to cover. And you'll find this sort of similar filtering design throughout the app as you play with it. as well. Um, Amazing. Another little hack actually is I think it's only on web you can do this, but you can bulk move mobs on web from the mobs page. So if you got to, get all you got to box all your your cows together for preg testing or use together for scanning or whatever it is, you can select them all here. So we're doing first crosses, and they're all the different paddocks, but we want to actually move them all to the one paddock. Um, and you can do that way, which is a handy hack because it can take a while once you're moving all these different mobs into the same paddock. And it's the same with say mob actions or a treatment, say drench. Um, we could pretty easily filter for sheep all merino, say weathers. Um, and we'd say we drenched all these recently. You could select them all and apply action in bulk. And that's a really quick, easy way. You can also do it here and then select them again up here as well. And that's a really quick, easy way to select in bulk and only do one record instead of 6 or 7 as well for the bigger places. Yeah, so those are
Jock,
the
I
sort
thought
of
I'd just
hacks. Sorry, you go, Maddie.
I was just going to jump in. Robert's had a question, and Robert, feel free to get yourself off mute if you want to elaborate. But
Go
he's
for it.
said a very handy tool for reports would be able to easily choose date range of the financial year, 1st of July to 30th of June, for example.
Yes, I agree. So at the moment in the reports, it has a bunch of different preset things which don't have financial year. Unfortunately, financial year isn't the same for every single country, but we are like the difference between New Zealand or Australia. We should be able to tell the difference of that now. So I think that's a really good point. But at the moment, you have to go in here to this date selector, and you'll have to go and select the year and the date. So June 30, say 2023 to where we are, July 1st or something like that. And that'll give you the financial year. So yeah, unfortunately at the moment you have to manually select it. Um, but yeah, I think it's a great idea, Robert. I'll actually note it down and pass it on to the team. Thank you. Nice. Um, Beautiful. All right. Well, I'll open up to Q&A. If anyone has any other questions that they really want to ask, I know that Kathy, you guys are new to the map as well in Mobble. And so if there's any sort of questions specific to that, please go ahead and ask, and we'll try and action them. Otherwise, I'll jump into some pretty exciting things we are working on in the near future.
There was a question, Jock, that people said when they were registering about moving one paddock. Did you? I'm not sure if you covered this before to two, and then whether the details will remain the same, the paddock history will remain.
Yeah, it's a great question. So it will. At the moment, there's no way to like basically, draw a line down a paddock and split it. So what you have to do is you have to edit the boundary of a paddock. So if it's this paddock you're splitting, you'll have to go to paddock info and then press the big edit button in the top right corner and edit again. And then basically drag these points into the line where you're splitting. And then once you've done that, you simply add in another paddock to the right hand side. Oops. There we go. Yeah, basically, sorry, the left hand side. You add another paddock to the left hand side of that one to make that split. So what will happen to the history? The history will all stay in the original paddock, which will be this side here. The one on the left, unfortunately, has fresh history, but at least you get to keep the history all from the past of this paddock. So yeah, something I might look into in the future is some sort of fancy split, but that's how you do it at Mobble at the moment. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, Maddie. I think there was some other questions that people have put in pre-webinar as well. So someone put in the question of how do you change DSE to LSU? So this is one of the exciting things that we've just about to release. I know it's in testing at the moment. So I know a lot of cattle producers have been a bit annoyed with this big DSE, or NZ producers as well, DSE up the top here, and it's something we haven't had time or the capacity to change. But I would say within a couple of weeks, we'll have the ability to go into your settings and change to any stocking unit that you want. So, and it will do the conversions for you. So if it's LSU, you'll be able to go to units and formatting, and there'll be a new section here called stocking unit. And just like you're changing the default hectares to acres or whatever it is, you'll be able to choose between, I think I'll go top of my memory, but it's SU for NZ, it's LSU for Northern Australia, as well as AE, adult equivalent, for Northern Australia. And then there's a few others for different countries as well, I think AU for the US. Um, and obviously DSE for Southern Australia as well. So that'll be great. I'm so glad that that's actually finally going to be in. It's been way too long. So thanks for everyone that's been pushing us to get that changed. So yeah, a couple of weeks away with that one as well. Yeah, that's good. Now another exciting thing that we're working on as well. So one of our amazing developers, Samira, has been working out this difficult challenge of how to backdate days grazed and days rested on paddocks. Um, Now, it's very annoying at the moment how when you move a mob, you have to move it on the day to get accurate days grazed, days rested records. Um, Give it a month or two. This is a hard task, surprisingly. We will be able to backdate within certain rules. So you won't be able to backdate too far. So it's still recommended that you try and move mobs within a few days, but you'll be able to backdate much more easily, like much easier. This date here that you're selecting will affect the days grazed and days rested counters in hopefully a smart way that doesn't corrupt the data in any way. So that's another thing we're working on at the moment, which is exciting. And another thing that we're promoting at the moment, so Mobble, it now has the ability to integrate with a lot of other companies. We have an amazing API, which basically means any company can integrate with us quite easily. So we're looking, and this is something we're asking Mobblers to help us with, but if you have an IoT provider, say it's like a farm bot monitor in the paddock, or if it's a Goanna Ag rain gauge, or if it's a observant pump meter, whatever it is, start pestering those companies if you can to say that they should integrate with Mobble, because we're ready for them to come in and push that data into Mobble. So basically, what they'll be able to do once they have the capacity is, say, if you've got a OptiWeigh, which is a in paddock weight weighing system. If it's in this paddock back mountain road, it'll pop up here on the map and you'll be able to select that, and then OptiWeigh, the company, will be able to push details about that mob into Mobble, and that might be max weight, average weight, min weight, as an example. So if you use any of these sort of IoT products on your farm, it could be anything. Please let them know that you'd like to see that data in Mobble, and hopefully we can get some of those relationships going, because that's something we really want to get more of in Mobble, that sort of that more central place for that all of your data. So you don't have to keep crossing between different platforms as well. So that one, and then also I think someone asked about linking to Zero. I won't say any names yet because there's no agreements, but basically, yeah, we have the data there in our, say, livestock reconciliation report to update, especially uh, so ag-related accounting softwares. So if you use one of them, we'd be interested in talking to you and how you'd expect an integration to work within an ag accounting software, because that is sort of the conversations we're having at the moment as well in that space, which is pretty exciting. Yeah. So
Jock, there's
watch
another
that space
question
too.
Sorry, there's another question from Robert. He
Yep.
asks, can I select multiple paddocks on the map to add a single event, for example, drilling?
Multiple, sorry, paddocks.
Yeah, multiple paddocks on the map to add a single event,
Like
for example,
a
drilling.
paddock action, Robert. Feel free to, you're on, there you go.
Yeah,
Yep. There you go.
sorry.
No, you're right.
Yeah, if I say I was drilling 11 paddocks,
Yep.
um, and is there a way it would be sort of nice, I don't know if it's possible, just to be
Yep.
able to click on each of them on the map view, because
Yes.
that's a really quick way to get them rather than sorting through a list.
Yes.
Um, and then just apply a single action to them that, they were sprayed out or
Yeah.
drilled or fertilized or
Yeah. So at the moment, there's no way to like sort of select them on the map, but you can do it the next step. Or maybe you've found this already, but if you add a mob action, a paddock action, sorry, to a paddock, um, you can select them through this list here. It possibly wasn't maybe not as user friendly as what you'd expect or what you wanted. But you can jump in here and select a bunch of different paddocks and do that action in bulk, like so. But yeah, have you found that function yet, Robert?
yeah, I've found that one and
Yep.
I can do it just, we've got probably about 90 different paddocks. And so it's
Yes.
just a bit slow going through them all. And
Yeah.
then we've got bits of trees and all sorts of things that end up in that list.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And I wonder if we put say if the you like the mobs page here, you can select mobs on the side of the mobs list. I wonder if you could do that in the paddocks list, that would make it a bit easier. It's a bit harder on the map for us to do, but on this giant paddocks list here, we could make it on the left-hand side. We could make little selectors to do bulk paddock actions. Would that make it a little bit easier?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that what might help that I used to be able to do in Farm IQ
Yeah.
is we could categorize paddocks. And so we'd have our flats, we'd have our hill country,
Yeah.
for example, and if I could then just filter out and just say flats because they're the only ones going to be farming,
Yes.
we could then that would just reduce it down from 80 or 90 paddocks to 20 paddocks,
Have you
which is
yeah, no, perfect. Have you tried so you can maybe you want to do the types differently, but you can change the types and create custom types here.
okay.
So just what you're saying there is exactly that. So you can go into edit paddock and there's paddock type and each
Yeah.
paddock will be a different color. So yeah, we haven't got many types in here, but you can literally just write in anything like the flats, for example. And I'll just add this in because I think it'd be good for my family to have that anyway. And it'll pop in as flats. I'll actually go down to the flats on the place
Yeah.
and
Actually,
and
that's a good way to do it.
yeah. And then they'll all show up in different colors as well. And you'll be able to filter. So um, on the paddocks list or even in the mobs list, you'll be able to filter for that type. So um, I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe not. So in the paddocks list, you can filter for that type. So I'll go with vegetation. And yeah, I got a couple little vegetation blocks in there. So that's a really
Yep.
good way to do it. And then I think I'm going to test this with you live. And be embarrassed when it doesn't work. But I think if you come to here and you type in vegetation, it should filter for type. Maybe it doesn't. So I've been embarrassed. So there you go. It doesn't.
No
But there we go.
worries.
I'll make a note of that, Robert, because I think that'd be a great addition. Filter for livestock types, no paddock types in paddock actions.
Yeah. Or even, I don't know if this is too difficult, but um, if in the map view you could enter, if you could select, maybe you're pressing Control click, select multiple paddocks, and then just
Yeah.
bang, one action. That's, I think for most people are really, most farmers are very spatial oriented, and
Yes.
it's quite good just to be able to click on maps rather than search for map name, paddock names. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
the filtering by paddock type will help.
No worries. Well, I'll
Thanks.
yeah, I'll add that to our to our list. Sorry, we've got a crying,
Uh,
teething baby behind us. Hope no one can hear her. All good.
Mm.
No worries. Well, I don't want to waste too many people's time, but if anyone's got any urgent questions right now, jump in because we're on until 7:45 if we want to be. Um, otherwise, this has been fantastic. So I might wrap it up there. So thanks everyone, and thanks Robert for asking questions as well. Thanks everyone for dropping in. Really appreciate everyone's time, and I hope everyone got something out of this. I know there'll be a lot of people watching this on pre-recording, on re-recording as well. Um, so if you have any questions at all, please hit us up at hello@mobble.io, or on our on one of our mobile phone numbers on the website as well. Give us a call, give us a text. Any feedback's really welcome. As you saw live, me and Robert were solving problems in Mobble, and no doubt some of that stuff will go into the app. So the feedback's really valuable to us, and yeah, thanks for everyone that supports us, and yeah, hopefully we can continue making a better product for you guys. Thanks.